Greetings, friends. Happy Tuesday. I have been sitting with some really big holograms today, some big energies, and I'm feeling the bridging of external chaos and dismantling and disruption and deep seated inner calm. And I find myself living simultaneously in both of those energies. And I know that many of you are living the same because I've been hearing from you. And some of you are undergoing some really big circumstances of turmoil right now that have to do with other people's stuff, especially related to work and commitments and responsibilities and showing up for big picture. So, uh, the message today is related to all of this, and the word for today is bridge. Oh, I don't have the card. Oh, here, just a second. The image for today is our priestess. And this theme of the year of our new abilities to bridge the light and the dark, to bridge the physical and the spiritual, to bridge mind and matter, to bridge contrast and polarity and find the place of balance between. And so one of the teachings that I am being drawn to right now about this card, and as you know, when you work with the cards, it's important to sit and receive the image and receive the teaching of the moment. And the teaching I'm receiving right now, in addition to abundance and plenitude and physicality, is the harp and or bow on her lap. And what this signifies is the combination of a bunch of different skills that enable us to bridge above and below, because we can't tell if this is a musical instrument, if it's a bow for an arrow, and both of those objects are part of the tools that we need for bridging. And so I'm also really drawn right now to the beautiful white camel at the bottom, which is Gimel, which is the Hebrew archetype for the path of the priestess, of drawing down the light, the ability to travel between worlds with great endurance and strength and confidence, and almost a mystical ability beyond what is physically required to move through, to be a ship in the desert. So the Sabian symbol for today, and the reason we're working with bridge, is the Sabian symbol for the sun's journey today at 7 Aquaria, at 7 Aries, is a person who is simultaneously able to experience and express themselves in 2 dimensions and 2 realms and 2 worlds. Spectacular, because that's who we are becoming and the tools that we are expanding into. It's challenging and also super inspiring. So out of yesterday's symbol, which was related to the emperor and the teachings of Aries about being a receiver of the light and the kind of power that's required, and also our ability to connect to our emotions deeply and focus deeply, and at the same time be transparent and allow the light to move through us. So for those of you who are in the Advanced Work in Mystery School, I really recommend that you look up the 14th path of Hay in your Kabbalah notebook and meditate and reflect on the teachings of this path, because they're coming forward right now in spectacular ways. And so yesterday's teaching was about the importance of honoring our emotional focus and our emotional activations and our emotional experience as we commit to form and as we commit to showing up for our own work, which is the feeling and experience of 4. And it was one side of a square being illuminated. This can sometimes put us out of balance. However, that's the one side being illuminated. However, the emotional aspect of it is super necessary. We have to have moments where we can feel deeply what is being activated. The symbol for today moves to the other extreme, which is the ability to simultaneously bridge physical and non-physical, to express and experience both in a kind of harmony. So I went to 3 decks today because of the intensity of what's happening for many of you. And actually, I'm wearing all my clothes because I am experiencing this today, in that I'm physically having some intense reactions in my body, and at the same time I feel fantastic. And so I'm curious about what I've been hearing from a few other people and the new activations we're receiving from the sun today. So I went to 3 decks and asked for a practical message for each of us of what we need to know from the 3 worlds, our 3 basic bridge elements for what we can receive today and moving forward in order to navigate the intensity of and turmoil of what's happening around us and connect to inner calm and point to focus. So in the position of spirit and mind and bridging above, I used the Keepers of the Light deck and asked for a teacher or a message that can help us connect with our own higher selves today. Now this being the divine director is an aspect or an intelligence of the guardians of source energy, and not a specific teacher that we connect to. What's interesting is I've received this card several times in the last month, and I'm just going to read the message to you today because some of you are experiencing this really specifically in your work life right now as you're committed to organizations and to other people and to physical grids who are struggling to bring work forward in the world. Divine intervention is taking place at this time. What is occurring in your life is providing a real learning curve for your soul. You are becoming aware of a sense of purpose in your life. It gives you a sense of joy. Beyond the turmoil, there is deep joy to know that we're here for something big and that we are stepping into it and experiencing it. The alignment with your purpose is something that brings you pleasure rather than something you have to work hard for or be diminished by. It brings you pleasure and rejuvenation. Know that your career and whatever you are stepping into in practical work can complement your purpose, but not define it. This is the key point that some of you are really experiencing now who are working in leadership. It's challenging right now to stay in alignment with what you're here to do and also navigate the limitations of structures that are being dismantled within the organizations that you may be aligned. So this is true for everyone. It's just happening on every level right now. It's important to remember that your work life, your path of purpose, your career, your job, your activities can complement your purpose, but it's important that it doesn't define it. When things are out of alignment, it's important to pull back. Remember that you work with the universe, and that is your, the divine director today is supporting your reconnection to your alignment with your purpose. So it doesn't have to be defined by external rules that may be outdated or being restructured. The path you are on at this time is right, and the universe is encouraging you to move forward. That's the big message right now. We are on our path. We are in momentum. And so there's a discernment quality when there is disruption of whose disruption is this and what's my role here. And so the rest of the spread talks about that. The key signatures of the divine director when they come up are to remember that your path brings you joy and that there's a sense of fulfillment in aligning with your purpose. And then in physicality, I went to the animal spirit cards and asked animal medicine for a message that can help us right now. And we received otter today. So this is a companion message that in your body, in the world, you, no matter what's happening outside, can reconnect to your curiosity. Even if you're not feeling playful right now, you can work with curiosity. That's part of your superpower. You can use your willpower to say, what in this situation is mine and what belongs to other people? What's my part and what do I have to learn? Hold curiosity and it will return you to humor and playfulness. And then I went to the Oracle cards and asked just for another message that we can hold in our heart, because they wanted to play with us today. And 3 cards fell out of the deck as I was shuffling, so I'm using them as a 3-card spread. And it's all about the square. It's all about form. The card that represents you is building blocks. Remember that you are anchoring right now in physicality, and that anchoring in physicality takes time. It doesn't happen all at once. So there's a quality of impatience in all of us right now because we feel things so bigly, and we have to remember that this year is about bringing things into form. And so have patience with yourself and with others, and know that all that matters, like we talked about next week, is discerning what's the next step. Hold space for big picture and then bridge the next step. On the other side of this relationship spread is a square at the top, and it says not for you. So the discernment piece is, what are your building blocks and what are the building blocks of someone else? And this can be on a small scale in your life or big picture, in terms of work that you may be involved with at a high level. And then I love this because in the middle of the relationship spread is the card that represents the adjustment card, to be fair and balancing on your toes. It's your job to use your powers to choose to discern what's your work, what's your opportunity, what are you bringing in, and what can you let go of because it's not yours, it's someone else's work. And remember that the superpower of curiosity will help you embody and ground, and asking for help from source will connect you to the discernment that may sometimes be difficult. So after these 3 cards fell out and I did the reading, I pulled one more card just saying, how could we tie these all together? And we got exchanging gifts. This is about giving and receiving, and loving this work and recognizing the work. And look, it's another box, another cube. So it's very much about remembering that this world is our heaven on earth. We're here. It's what we came for. And if, as much as possible, when we can reconnect with what is our work and let go of what is other people's work, we can come back to this place of recognizing the gift in all experiences. So a little bit longer message than usual. And I hope that it's helpful for you because this is really big picture. And we need to love our bodies right now. My body, for whatever reason, is struggling a little bit today. And I'm just loving it and doing my best to give it what it needs. And so if you are having a similar experience, I encourage you to do the same and reach out to your friends and to your companions for the support, and to those of you who are being available for others, thank you, because we are carrying each other right now, and it's part of the exuberation and the gift of this journey. So have a fantastic day. I'm sending love to each of you right now.